wheat and they have an intolerance to it, do you know it can get that blood pressure up? So blood pressure can be caused by wheat. So how do you know what you are? I've got a challenge for you. Stop it for 2 months, see what happens.
Urgent warning. Inflammation is quietly killing your heart. Dr. Barbara O'Neill reveals shocking truth. Barbara O'Neill, a renowned expert in nutrition and health, has spent many years researching the link between chronic inflammation and cardiovascular diseases. According to her, silent infections in the body, such as gum disease, arthritis, or hidden infections, can gradually cause serious damage to the heart. Through this sharing session, Barbara O'Neill will help you realize the importance of detecting and treating inflammation issues early, especially signs that may not be immediately noticeable. This video will provide tips on a healthy diet, positive lifestyle habits, and natural methods to reduce inflammation, protect heart health, and improve overall quality of life. Join us on this journey, not only to listen to your heart, but also to understand the silent messages it sends.
The water loss in a day is about 2.5 litres. That's 1.5 litres out through the kidneys, 0.5 of a litre out of the skin, 0.3 of a litre out of the colon, and 0.2 of a litre out of your lungs. That's 2.5 litres a day. So 2 litres must be replaced. The other half a litre can come through herb teas, maybe your juice, maybe your salad, maybe your fruit salad. You're getting some moisture there. But that water must be replaced. Keeping the heart with all diligence, those muscles need water because out of it are the issues of life, and the best blood thinner is water. But for us to access that water, we need sodium. Sodium in the form of whole salt. Now, let's have a look at the highest concentration of sodium on the planet is seawater. So seawater contains 92 minerals, and of those 92 minerals, 30% is made up of sodium and 50% is made up of chloride. Now, because they make up the largest amount of the minerals in the seawater, the first crystals formed when the water is evaporated from seawater is sodium chloride. And so what man does is he scoops that up, bleaches it white, puts aluminium with it so it runs freely. There's your table salt. And your table salt is a dangerous salt. It only has 2 minerals, sodium chloride. And if you were to inject sodium chloride straight into the veins, you would kill the person. They're very harsh minerals, those two. They need to be buffered with all the other minerals. The salt that we use is Celtic salt. And Celtic salt has 82 minerals. Where are the other 10? Well, they're in such proportion, barely measurable, that it's inevitable that they're lost in the evaporation process. But hey, 82's a lot closer to 92, isn't it? Now, in that Celtic salt, there are 3 magnesium. So magnesium sulfate, there's magnesium bromide, and magnesium chloride. Magnesium is an incredibly important mineral in the human body. It's responsible for about 400 enzymic functions. Magnesium is very, very important in the heart because there are 2 minerals that cause that heart to beat. Well, there's a few, but basically these 2. Calcium constricts, magnesium relaxes. Calcium constricts, magnesium relaxes. And so an important part of getting proper heart health, especially if someone has high blood pressure, is magnesium. Magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, which means it absorbs water into itself. And when you put Celtic salt in a bowl on the table, and we have a lot of rain, you come and look at that salt and it'll be quite wet because it's absorbing the moisture out of the air. When you take a crystal of this Celtic salt and put it on your tongue, already the mucous membranes in the mouth are absorbing the minerals. It is taken in the blood to the cell, and that magnesium causes the water to be drawn into the cell. It's the quickest way to hydrate the human body. Now, around the cell, there isn't one membrane, it's a bilayered membrane. And when the water rushes through the cell into the CBD under the action of magnesium, a little motor is triggered in that membrane to start spinning, and the spinning of that little motor gives us a unit of energy. So when everyone at work is going out to get their coffee or their cigarette to get a boost, you just get your crystal of Celtic salt, put it on your tongue, have a glass of water, and you watch that little energy boost that you will get. And you won't get the drop like they will all get. They might get an initial rise, but then there's always a corresponding drop, and I'll explain that process in a little bit more detail on Saturday morning. Quickest way to hydrate the body. The soils are mineral deficient today. The plants are mineral deficient today. And so doing this, every glass of water is an excellent way to start to recover some of the minerals that so many people in New Zealand, Australia and America today are deficient in, especially the magnesium. Now there is one drink that leaches the magnesium and the calcium out of the body, and that is caffeine. Now there was a bit of a groan last night when I mentioned this one. I call it Australia's darling. Is it New Zealand's darling too? What's a darling? Something they love. And it's very, very effective at leaching the calcium and the magnesium out of the body. And most people don't realise that coffee is a huge contributing factor to dehydration, to heart malfunction, and also to imbalance in heartbeats. So there are some things that have to stop if you want to keep the heart withal diligent, and one of them is caffeine, because of the way it leaches the magnesium out of the body. And as you can see by what I just described, magnesium is so important. Anyone that comes to me with high blood pressure, we do quite a few changes, but we always supplement with magnesium because it keeps that heart muscle at rest. You see, your systolic is your high point and your diastolic is your bottom one. It relaxes that diastolic and brings it down a little bit. And the Celtic salt can do that. But how often are people with high blood pressure told to what? No salt. Now there are 4 vital elements needed for life. Let me draw the 4 vitals. And you can find this in any anatomy and physiology book, any chemistry book. Number 1 is oxygen. Number 2 is water. Number 3 is sodium. Did everyone hear that? And check me out on that. Go to your anatomy and physiology book, and if you don't have an anatomy and physiology book, please buy one. We need to know about this house we're living in. The number 4 is potassium, and potassium is found in all your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're the 4 vitals elements needed for life. So if anyone's told they should stop salt, it's very unscientific. It's incredibly unpractical. And what's a baked potato without salt?
Lifestyle factors such as poor diet, excessive stress, and lack of exercise can create low-grade chronic inflammation, which can gradually damage the heart and arteries over time. This inflammation contributes to plaque buildup in the arteries, which can ultimately lead to atherosclerosis, a key factor in heart disease. To combat this silent inflammation, it is crucial to adopt an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. This includes maintaining a diet rich in antioxidants, which are abundant in fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains. Additionally, incorporating regular physical activity into daily life helps reduce inflammation levels and improves heart health. These lifestyle choices not only help control silent inflammation, but also enhance cardiovascular function and disease recovery.
Now let's say a person is a smoker. 4,000 chemicals in one cigarette, and that can cause damage in the arterial wall. So the chemicals in cigarettes can cause a hole in the arterial wall. Mercury, it's a neurotoxin. It can cause a hole to be made in the arterial wall. Yeast or mold in the blood can cause a hole to be made in the wall. And if the person's on a high wheat, high sugar, high alcohol diet, feeding the yeast, can you see what's happening? What's going to plug up the hole in the arterial wall? LDL. LDL plugs it up. Remember what LDL is? The repairer and the rebuilder. Is the person supposed to stop smoking? The person's supposed to get out of the mouldy house. The person's supposed to get the mercury fillings out of their mouth, or instead of having tuna and salad for lunch, they have hummus or lentil burgers and salad for lunch. The person's supposed to stop smoking and drinking and high wheat, high sugar. And at the same time, that's a person's supposed to be eating highly nourishing food. So where's your fibre? All your plant food, plant-based, have fibre, your whole foods. Where's your protein? Your protein is found in your legumes, your lentils, chickpeas, lima beans, tofu. And where's your fats? Your nuts and your seeds, and also your coconut oils, your olive oils. When a person is eating those nutrients, the body can heal the whole. Can you see that? All those nutrients basically are all the building materials that the body needs to heal the whole. And then HDL comes along and takes away the excess cholesterol. Can you see how these two work together in maintaining the arterial wall? And often LDL is blamed as the bad cholesterol. The body doesn't make anything bad. No, they work together in maintaining arterial strength. Because if nothing plugs up the hole, the blood can leak into the tissues and we can die. What an amazing body that God gave us. But do you know what's happening with many people? Many people don't realise what the smoking's doing to them, or the drinking, or the wheat, or the sugar, or the mouldy house, or the mercury fillings in their mouth. Many are sick through ignorance. And the person's so busy they don't have time to cook the lentils, and all they've got time for is cereal, or the quick sandwich for lunch, or the quick pasta 2-minute noodles for tea. And so they don't have the nourishment needed to repair the whole. Not just plug it up like LDL, to actually repair it so HDL can be taken away. And so what's happening in the arterial wall? It's building up and up and up and up and up and up. So what's happening in the arteries? It's called atherosclerosis or arteriosclerosis.
Illness is not the only cause of heart disease, although plaque buildup in the arteries is an important factor. But the question is, why does this buildup occur? The main reason is high sugar intake in the diet, combined with excessive consumption of wheat and alcohol. These lifestyle factors that many people follow today may be causing the issue. Some individuals may not be obese, but consuming too much wheat can still harm health. So, what should we eat to improve our health?
The three main essential food groups are your fibre, your protein, and your fats. What we need to do is get the carbohydrate part of our diet down, down, down. So no caffeine, no wheat, and no refined sugar. Refined sugar is dangerous. It clogs up the arteries. It makes the blood very, very sticky. And you can get so many delicious sweeteners like honey and maple syrup and even the coconut sugars. There's no need to go to the refined sugar. Fibre. All your plant-based foods are high fibre. Generous amounts of protein. Your healthy fats. Now there are 2 herbs that work very well in strengthening the heart. And you may have heard of this herb. That's number 6 we're up to. It's the hawthorn berry. And I wouldn't be surprised if you've got hawthorn berries growing in New Zealand, because in Australia they grow in Victoria because they love the cold climate. I think they're originally from England. The hawthorn berry strengthens the heart. It brings it back to normality. Often people have heart arrhythmia, often caused by caffeines and wheats and refined sugar, not even realizing that the food they're eating is causing the problem. but hawthornberry can bring it back to normality. It's an incredibly safe herb. You might get hawthornberry tablets and have 1 3 times a day. If it's not doing it, do 2 3 times a day. Do 4 3 times a day. It's very, very safe. If your blood pressure's too high, it'll bring it down. If it's too low, it'll bring it up. The other herb is cayenne pepper. Now, cayenne pepper is one of the most powerful blood thinners that there is. About 15 years ago, at our health retreat in Melbourne, the chef was giving a cooking class to 15 guests, and I got a call. Lady had a heart attack. She was about 80. She'd already had a couple that year of minor ones. So I ran. I was at the health centre in 3 minutes. The guests are standing around, terrified, of course. The lady's on the ground. She's totally pale. She was half conscious. A guy was holding a pulse. He said, the pulse is almost gone. I said, quick, get the cayenne pepper. I quickly got half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and put it in her mouth. She was half conscious. I said, give me a bit of water. She was able to drink a little, and it must have been 2 minutes, and the guy holding a pulse yelled out, the pulse is strong. I looked at this lady, all the colour had came into her face, and she sat up and said, what happened? It was absolutely incredible. I'd read about it, but now I saw for myself. And everyone standing round was going, whoa! I said, no, it's not me, it's the cayenne pepper.
Another important factor in managing silent inflammation is addressing stress and improving sleep quality. Managing stress and improving sleep quality not only helps reduce inflammation, but also supports maintaining a healthy heart. Chronic stress stimulates an inflammatory response in the body, and if not managed, this can lead to serious heart issues. Prolonged stress increases cortisol hormone levels, causing biochemical responses that damage blood vessels and the heart. Stress-reducing techniques like mindfulness, meditation, and yoga help calm the nervous system, lower cortisol levels, and improve emotional recovery. This not only helps reduce inflammation, but also improves overall health. Moreover, sleep plays a crucial role in body recovery, particularly in repairing heart tissues and blood vessels. Quality sleep helps reduce inflammation and boosts the immune system while reducing the effects of stress on the body. Adequate sleep allows the body to recover and regenerate, reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease and other conditions related to silent inflammation. A balanced diet, regular exercise, and stress management can help reduce inflammation levels in the body, thus reducing the risk of heart disease. Combining these changes with regular monitoring of inflammation signs will offer a comprehensive approach to cardiovascular health. Taking care of your heart is not just a necessity, but a way of life. Positive, health-conscious choices every day will help protect your heart, not only making you feel better, but also helping you live a healthier life. Remember, the heart is the source of life we have, and caring for it is a profound act of self-love. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to receive the latest updates from us. See you in the next video.